Hey guys, what's going on? Janepris here. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about client-side anti-cheats and the effectiveness of them. And before we get into this, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the feature of this video, and that's going to be Badware. His channel will be in the description and everything, as well as my Discord link and my Badline client cape. You should go check all that stuff out. Anyway, let's get right into it. So this video is going to be about client-side anti-cheats, bypasses to them, and if they are really the end solution to cheating and the cheating problem in the Minecraft community. So at this point, I don't really think I have to explain what a client-side anti-cheat is, and you guys basically know how they work. They catch people on the client side, and there's lots of advantages to that. I've explained them in many different videos before. But I really wanted to use this video as an opportunity to target a few common misconceptions about client-side anti-cheats. Now, the first one that's really common is the fact that if you can play on a client-side anti-cheat, you're automatically legit. That's not entirely true. Although, obviously on Badline client, on back-enabled servers, and on Lunar client, it is relatively difficult to cheat on them. It doesn't necessarily mean you're legit if you're on the client. Like, you might be cheating and then you'll get banned later in a ban waiver. So just because you're on the client doesn't mean that you're legit. It's totally not the same thing. Obviously, people get banned later because they don't immediately ban on client-side anti-cheats. Nearly all of them are like that. So the next time you hear someone say, I'm not hacking, I'm on Lunar client, or I'm not hacking, I'm on Badline client, like, just know that that's completely irrelevant. What really matters is if they get caught by the client-side anti-cheat later. Another common misconception is that client-side anti-cheats are, like, infinitely better than server-side anti-cheats, and also that they're basically not bypassable by anything. And in some regards, a lot of that stuff is true. Client-side anti-cheats are in some ways better than server-side anti-cheats, but they honestly cannot operate by themselves. They need to be used in conjunction with server-side anti-cheats, and I'll explain that in 1 second. In addition, client-side anti-cheats can be bypassed. It's just a lot more inconvenient for the user using the cheats. And it's a lot easier for the server or the client developers of the client-side anti-cheat to patch that bypass. They have a lot more access to a lot more information on the client side than they do on the server side, so it just stands to reckon that it should be easier. So in a lot of ways, client-side anti-cheats are a lot better than server-side anti-cheats, but just using it and relying on a client-side anti-cheat to detect your cheaters on your server is basically like trying to eat pancakes without butter or syrup. Like, it will taste fine and it will be good, but you could definitely improve it. So I'm going to give you guys an example to help you understand what I mean. Let's say someone finds a bypass to Lunar client or to Badline client, and they figure out how to use reach or velocity or something on those clients. If the server that they're using it on doesn't also pick up that velocity or that reach, then they can just use it indefinitely pretty much because they've bypassed the one layer of protection that exists. However, let's say the server has really good velocity and reach detection, and they find a bypass in Lunar client or Badline client that has reach or velocity. The server also picks it up, thereby weakening the bypass and making it so it's very difficult to actually get past. So that's why in my previous video about what is the best anti-cheat, I basically said that in my opinion, Badline client's anti-cheat is probably better, although it only works on specific servers because it has a server-side and a client-side component. So overall, client-side anti-cheats are amazing tools to help server owners and a lot of different people detect cheaters, but it's not the whole of the problem. The whole of the problem has to be tackled by the server side and the client side together. And I'm going to be interviewing a cheat developer for a client-side anti-cheat. His name is Badware, and I'm going to be asking him a few questions about how easy it was to bypass his client-side anti-cheat, what he did to do it, and we're getting a lot of information about the future of cheat detection in Minecraft and how these client-side anti-cheats can actually evolve to detect these cheats, and how no matter what, there's always going to be bypasses. It's just the fact that client-side anti-cheats give a huge advantage to the people trying to detect the cheats because they have access to more information than what is on the server side. So, yeah, without further ado, here's my interview with Badware. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, we're here with Badware in a Discord call, the developer of the cheat for Lunar client that I mentioned earlier, and he's here to answer a few questions that you guys might have about his cheat, what he plans to do with it and everything. What's up, Badware? Welcome to the channel. Yep, alright, so I got a few questions for you here. I'm just wondering a few things about the cheat that you made. The first question is, what made you want to make the cheat? Like, did you have any motivation to make this cheat? Is it because it was like something that you didn't really see before and you knew it was possible? Or was it because you just wanted to prove a point? Like, what exactly were you trying to accomplish?
Well, so about a year ago, I uploaded another video on my channel when Lunar Client was first released, where I showed that it was easily bypassed. And that was just kind of supposed to be like a wake up call to Lunar that just because they had a client doesn't mean that they're invincible. And I was kind of out of the game for about a year, and I came back and I saw that they were still there, and I figured, maybe they fixed their stuff, and so I decided to try it out. And honestly, nothing's changed. It's like it's like they made zero progress since when they released a year ago, and so I figured I may as well make a video and kind of let the community know that's the client they're playing on.
Okay. All right. That's pretty much what I wanted to ask for the first question. Now, the second question is, how exactly does it work? I'm sure you are not going to be willing to go into the exact details, but I just want to know a general overview of what you do, what you coded to create the bypass.
Well, without going into too many details, I made a EFI, or an extensible firmware interface driver, and it writes to virtual memory, and then you map it with a driver, another driver that I'm not going to mention. But once we have a driver loaded, we can just open a handle to a client, and that's that.
So basically, it uses some sort of exploit that the Lunar client isn't really checking for to bypass. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So my second question is, what do you think this means for the future of client-side anti-cheats?
Well, I'd say my response to this kind of has two parts. So, for firstly, I would say I think it's important to recognize that this isn't just an issue with Lunar Client. Any client-sided anti-cheat or distributed client can definitely fall prey to the same issues that Lunar made here. High list Cobra client, and then there's another one that I was looking at the other day. I think it's Mindman or something like that. Either way, all those are definitely bypassable, and I definitely plan to look into them in the future. The second thing I would say is that goes out to the people who are planning on expanding into the client field. You guys need to be really careful. Not only do you have to worry about preventing cheaters, but you need to be concerned with the security of your player base as well. It's very important that for Minecraft to move forward as a competitive game, that we need to get out of the server side anti cheats or the user mode clients. But it's also very, very important that the people implementing these client side anti cheats know what they're doing, because they have a lot on their hands. I think a good example of this would be Riot Games and Tencent as a whole. So for you, those of you who don't know, Riot Games is a USA subsidiary of Tencent, which is a Chinese conglomeration. They produce a lot of games like Anti-Cheat, or excuse me, League of Legends, and more recently Valorant. League in the past has had a fiasco with having a Bitcoin miner as known as CoinHive, and Valorant has been making waves recently about expanding further into their users' privacy with a very, very low level anti-cheat. So clearly, that's a concern for your privacy and safety as a user, even from a massive corporation. And another example I can draw from in that same vein is cheat breakers. That's definitely a much smaller example, and it's more grassroots. So in the past, a lot of people were really concerned with the potential for getting ratted or their personal data stolen from Cheatbreaker. And anytime that you download a client-sided anti-cheat, you're really putting your trust in someone else. Do you really trust a lot of Minecraft server owners out there?
Yeah, it's all about trust and like whether or not you believe that it's better for you to have this anti-cheat or not, if you want to prove that you're legit or not, right? It's all about the risk reward. Would you agree?
I think that's definitely a great way to summarize it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My third question, or fourth question for you here is: if it is it patchable? Can Lunar Client or other clients and anti cheats do something to patch this cheat, or is it something that they can't really do anything about?
I would absolutely say it's patchable, but I booted from a USB drive that starts with a UEFI shell and then load it. It would definitely have to make sure that the driver's loaded before Lunar's anti-cheat, and overall it's just hard to patch, and stuff like this bypasses Vanguard too. That's a Valorant's anti-cheat. But yeah, I'd say most likely they can definitely patch it, but given that it's been a year since I first made a video on them and they've made next to zero progress, I kind of doubt that they will.
Well, I hope my video encourages them to up their game, and I'm sure it will when they see it. So probably won't work anymore, but we'll have to see what happens. And my final question for you here is, what do you plan to do with it? I assume that you don't really plan on selling this cheat, because I think you've expressed concern over the future of the Minecraft community, and you seem to care actually about where the community is headed. So you don't plan to sell it. Did you really just want to make a point here, or what exactly do you plan to do with it in the future?
Yeah, I absolutely definitely won't try to sell it or spread it. That would be irresponsible and would be a very big security concern for Lunar. I also want to make clear that I don't want this to be seen as an attack on Lunar, but someone had to do something. For what you were saying about me caring about the community, I really care a lot about the Minecraft community. It's been a while since I've played. I've gone off to college and I've had a lot more on my plate. But I played Minecraft since 2012 and I played PvP until 2017. I played legit and I played Kohi and I really enjoyed the game and it made me really sad to see the direction it went in. And I know that client-side anti-cheats are the future, but I just want it to be responsibly done and I want it to be healthy for the community, not harmful.
Yep, sounds good. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think I said it all.
Yep. All right, guys, that was Badware. So that is pretty much going to wrap up my video here on client-side anti-cheats. Overall, I just wanted to bring home the point, and my point of the video is not to say that client-side anti-cheats are useless or they shouldn't be used or anything. It's more to show that client-side anti-cheats aren't everything, and just because you're using a client-side anti-cheat doesn't mean you're legit, and it doesn't prove, 100% that you're not cheating. And because of that, just be wary about people making claims about being legit when they're on these client-side anti-cheats. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it. Join my Discord, link in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.